evening, everyone. Welcome to Thai PBS World. Tonight, you are with Hathai Techakitianan and Tulip Naksompoplao.
Good evening, and let's kickstart the program with some good news for those in Bangkok. So from tomorrow onwards, which is December 1st, eateries in the capital will be allowed to serve alcohol up until 11 p.m. in a further ease of restrictions because currently is allowed only until 9 p.m. So Bangkok Governor Aswin Kwanmueong issued an announcement yesterday that eateries which have passed the amazing Thailand Safety and Health Administration standard of the Ministry of Tourism and Sports, or the Thai Stop COVID Plus standard of the Health Services Department, can also serve alcohol up to 11 p.m. But of course, this is only at restaurants and eateries, because other venues, night entertainment venues such as pubs, bars, and even soapy massage parlors, I assume, will still remain closed until further notice. And so since the beginning of this month, November 1st, eateries only in selected provinces, including the capital, in Bangkok and Krabi, Phangan, Phuket, can serve alcoholic drinks up until 9 p.m. And the alcohol ban still remains in place in other tourist towns, such as Pattaya, for example. So this has prompted a lot of restaurateurs over there to seek the lifting of the ban sooner than January 16, which is now the D-Day for reopening of those nightclubs and pubs in most of the provinces in Thailand.
Yeah, because you see that Bangkok and Phuket are allowed to sell alcoholic drinks. So Pattaya, people in Pattaya or businesses in Pattaya are probably wondering what is the serious reason for them to not be able to do the same thing.
Exactly.
And talking about that, also related story, it's about the people that have been in nightlife entertainment businesses. They are one of the groups that have been through very difficult time as well. And because, like Hathai said before, that they will not be able to open until 16 January, a lot of damage is happening. And right now, Ministry of Labor is set to propose to the CCSA the compensation for nightlife business owners and their employees. Labor Minister Suchat Chongklin will propose the allocation of some money from the Social Security Fund for those affected by the decision, after he met with the representatives of musicians, artists, pubs and bars yesterday to discuss their problems and ways to ease their suffering. People who have lost their jobs should be compensated with at least 50% of their previous salary. Employees who are still in the Social Security system, meanwhile, should be compensated for one more month in addition to whatever has previously been paid under the Rao Rakkan government stimulus scheme, launched especially for employees whose employment was affected by COVID-19. Owners of nightlife business impact by the temporary closure will also be paid compensation to ensure no more layoffs are required. The ministry and the CCSA will assess the number of employees and businesses which require compensation. The number is estimated to be over 100,000. As nightlife entertainment venues will remain closed until at least January 16, officials are trying to relax some measures in order that musicians can find work. For example, outdoor concerts and performances in hotels should be allowed. The minister added that the advent of the Omicron variant could, however, impact the plan to resume nightlife in January, but then decide to propose some helping plan now for some business to not lay off their employees. I think it's a bit too late for many businesses.
It is too late for sure. They, as I, for example, I reported a few months ago in Pattaya, and actually we did cover that before, that all the nightlife was just dead quiet, and actually as a proof of that, the lock used to lock the venue was actually even rusty.
Mm.
It was like even locked down way before since last year, and that's just really sad. They have suffered a
Yeah.
lot, and they do deserve
Yeah, and we
compensation,
went
of
to
course.
Phuket, the walking street just dead quiet,
Right.
just nothing there.
Right. So hopefully, things will start to get back to normal without the disruption of the new variant, hopefully. A lot of people, a lot of us are keeping fingers crossed. And speaking
Yeah.
of this new variant, the Thai cabinet actually announced today that the RT-PCR test requirement upon entry in arrival into Thailand will still remain in place because of the emergence of the new variant that we call Omicron. So this decision actually is a U-turn from the CCSA's announcement last week that antigen tests will be used instead from December 16 onwards. So the initial plan to switch to antigen test kits or ATKs was actually meant to reduce the waiting time for people arriving from specified countries, both Thai returnees and foreign visitors, because the quarantine wait, it has been reported widely that this is a no quarantine thing, but actually people still have to wait in quarantine at their certified hotel for about a day or at best half a day. So, according to Deputy Public Health Minister Sathit Pittutesha, the Thai authorities are monitoring this variant really closely right now, especially regarding air travel. He said he is really confident, though, that should the variant, which is now being categorized as of concern by the WHO, if it makes its way into Thailand through formal points of entry, like air travel, it can be traced and tracked. But the concern is that if it arrives with those who cross borders illegally, it will be actually hard to do so. So, with this in mind, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has instructed border security officials to be more strict, more stringent, and has said that any negligence will lead to penalties. So, this variant has been first identified in South Africa, and it has also now been detected in countries such as Australia, Austria, Belgium, Botswana, Canada, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Germany, Hong Kong, Israel, Italy, the Netherlands, Portugal, Spain, and the UK.
Yeah, and talking about new variant, every time we talk about new variant, people will ask, what about
Right,
vaccine?
right.
Whether the vaccine we have is actually can still protect us or can still work. And the latest development is that virologist Dr. Yongpu Virawan and the head of Center for Medical Genomics at Ramathibodi Hospital, Dr. Wasan Chandratit, said that the mix and match vaccine regimen may offer protection against the new coronavirus variant, Omicron. Dr. Yong, who is head of the Center of Excellence in Clinical Virology at Chulalongkorn University, posted on his Facebook, said that the mutations of coronavirus occur all the time, but the important thing is where the mutations take place and how they function. He noted that antibodies generated by the body to fight a viral infection are more effective than those generated after inoculation with some vaccines developed from only spike proteins. He hopes that in the future, there will be more research on hybrid immunity, which should offer better protection against virus mutations. He added that as Thailand has administered several vaccines and mixed and matched them, that vaccine regimen may offer protection against the new variant. Meanwhile, Dr. Vasan explained that while the mixed use of vaccines, especially inactivated vaccines, which are widely used in Thailand, may not generate a high level of immune response, the antibodies from the inactivated vaccines can recognize the virus despite mutations in its spike protein and hence can offer some sort of protection against Omicron, which has multiple spike mutations. He said the coronavirus has undergone multiple mutations in Africa because many people on that continent still do not have access to vaccines, and the collection of genetic codes of the variants is rare there. And he added that in Thailand, the majority of the people have been vaccinated, and health officials have kept a close watch on the pandemic in all parts of the country. As there is limited information about Omicron, he said that it is still too early to say for certain whether the new variant will be more potent than others. But I guess we just have to be
Wait and see.
careful, like have been doing all this practice that we have to do, like washing hands, wearing masks, and try to reduce touching anything.
For sure. There has been some, initial experts' opinions about how this is maybe probably less deadly than other variants. But as you said, like it's still too early to tell, and we really have to be careful.
Yep.
And let's end the program with a bit of, mystery solved, perhaps. The mysterious asphalted road running to nowhere through a rice field in Mahachaichana district of the northeastern province of Yasothon, which has been the subject of an investigation by local authorities, in which the locals suspect may be linked to some sort of corruption, is apparently just an embankment and not a road. So over the past weekend, the provincial NACC chief visited the site and questioned all these representatives, for example, from a local rural roads department, the provincial irrigation office, as well as Phayat sub-district administration organization. And they actually all maintained that they did not know anything about it. So after several days of head scratching and denials from local authorities, officials from Ubon Ratchathani based irrigation projects went to Yasothon yesterday to explain, the whole situation to the NACC office and got the mystery unraveled. So they reportedly claim that the 2-kilometer long road is just an embankment running parallel to a dry irrigation canal built to the road design of the Rural Roads Department to promote the use of power rubber in road construction. And with all of this is also to help rubber growers as well by using rubber because they are suffering from low prices. So this road, or now known as embankment, is actually fitted with a solar lighting system. The farmers have complained that the lighting is affecting their rice plants and there's no water in the irrigation canal anyway. And the villagers also say that the embankment is actually a waste and is used by young people for motorcycle racing instead. And as we're reporting this, another similar road, but this mystery probably has not been solved yet, another road was found in the same district, in the same province. So it actually ended in the middle of a swamp. And there are actually literally no warning signs what's lying ahead, which is a swamp. So yeah, that's at least one mystery solved, but for the other road, we still actually don't know. It did end in a swamp.
Right.
We'll see.
I'm sure that's not the last one we're going to see or hear about it.
Right. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Thai PBS World tonight, but do catch us like this every weekday at 7 p.m. for all the top stories, explainers, and of course, our commentaries.
Yes, and don't forget to check in on our social media. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, and we have also website as well, a lot of analysis and explainers and a lot of interesting articles and exclusive for you to read. And that's all we have in this edition of Thai PBS World tonight, and see you again tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ